just to share a little bit more what I'm struggling with here, because we got, you know, in our reference photo, we've got 2 coins, and we've properly sized those. I've double checked all this stuff, so I'm sure those are the right size and that's the right position. And then I've got an Ankh key, and you know, with my aligned camera, you know, it's pretty close. I mean, you can see this edge is a little bit off. That could be, there's a few things going on. You can see this edge doesn't quite meet. I think the key's bent a little bit in this photo. There's see the difference in height there, where it's a mismatch there and a thing. So this means that if this is the high point of the key, this point is a little high and this point's a little high, as though it were arced slightly in this axis. So it was bent back a little bit and bending forward. If the key doesn't do that, the other thing that can create that is the camera. That can be a little bit of lens distortion, which is radial, and the effect of radial distortion is that it pushes away and pushes away. That could easily be a little bit of radial distortion. The issue with that is that radial distortion is not showing up here on these coins, and it's super telltale when it does. I'm also not really seeing it in the fibers of the carpet. Nonetheless, you know, when we check, you know, you sort of have to, you do some, I mean, I could make this a little closer by just, you know, sliding it back a little bit on the key, but then it's off in some other way. So it looks like my dimensions, I mean, I just can't tell. I would trust, since I built the key to more orthographic geometry, I would not start moving polygons around to line up with these edges. I just don't believe that. That's something else that's going on here. But still, you know, we're in the 85th to 90th percentile or higher in terms of a match, and it's always a good idea to just look at it. You know, does that seem like, if we were on the day, does that seem a reasonable thing to let? Yeah, you know, neither one of them are. There's nothing weird going on. There's just nothing strange going on in the alignment. Sometimes your eyes can fool you, but that's with a. Now, as I've been refining this, I've taken the 2.1 inch key, and you can see I've scaled it down to 0.977 of its size. So it's a little smaller than it was. I've been refining the camera solution because I'm really bothered by the size of it, because my first guesses are not usually that off. So my first guess was 1.8, and this was coming in at 2.1. It just, I'm like, I don't know about that. So what I was going to do here was take this key, which by the way I get these things, if I take an object, I have actually a bounding box command that takes the exact bounding box of that and is reporting it at 2.1094 and 1.2863 wide. So since I've just now scaled that through my refinements to 0.977, then what I usually do is I'll come in here. I did not mean to do that. And I'll actually go ahead and scale this to that exact thing. So I'll just take this and we'll do a scale command. We'll do it right down here at the base of it. Actually, let me put that bounding box back on it. That's even a better way to do it. Those are the coins. You can see the coins, by the way. And we're assuming that the Royal Mint is right, but I'm pretty sure. So let's take that and this bounding box. And let me scale the two of them down, and I'll start right at that midpoint, and I'll scale them 0.977, and there you go. That's 0.977 of its size. So if I now select this and rerun the bounding box command, now we're getting 2 inches, 2.0608. So, you know, it's a little smaller, but that's not night and day. But in any, you know, so maybe, are we getting closer? Well, let's pull up the 1.9. There's the 1.9 key. That's that one. That's that one. So, you know, if we hide this bigger one, and we're like, okay, here's our 1.9 inch key. There's just, you can't make that. There's no way that's ever going to. There's just no way that's ever gonna line up. Ever. That's way too far off. And let's just double check to make sure that the geometry, that's not like doing some weird thing. No, it's sitting on top of the coin like anything else. It's in the same position. That's not, you know, like I said, this stuff isn't rocket science. Those coins are right. If those coins are right, that's 1.9, and that sure as hell is it 1.8, which was smaller, right? 1.8, which my first guess was like somewhere in this world. Like, that's not gonna. So, you know, when we're in a situation like this, and of course I went back and forth on this on the police box for 6 straight months, I would just be looking for more corroborative evidence. But it seems to me that just looking through the Ankh key threads, you know, that like nobody's super obsessing about this. I've seen a lot of research on it, but it doesn't look like people are near mental disease with it, which is probably why this hasn't all been triangulated. Like, bottom line is, where's Tony Farrell? You're right, where's Tony? If Tony hasn't done this, then as far as I'm concerned, it hasn't been done. You know, or maybe he hasn't. But this is not, that's no way that's 1.9. It's just not. You'll never, there's nothing, you can't. You'd have to go up to make it work. And that's what I did. That's how I originally got to it. However, you know, I'm looking for flaws in my logic and holes in my argument. So if you've got them, please hit me up and let's lock this down.